Hey guys, Justin and Travis from Clark Toys have another exclusive we wanted to show you in a video, and this video is mostly about Larry Bird. So this one we've shown just a couple weeks ago on Facebook and in a newsletter for the first time.
Yeah, I had a great reaction on Facebook actually, with over 1,000 reactions, over 100 comments, over 100 shares. People are loving Larry Bird.
Yeah, a really strong reaction, and some of the things to point out, just it's commemorating all three of his titles, 81, 84, and 86.
Yep.
So you got the 3 championship rings on the base. They're electroplated gold with actual little gems. So a great looking base commemorating those 3 titles. And then, of course, people commenting on his, you got the 80s, true 80s mullet, the aviators and 80s big white hat from the championship parades in 84 and 86. So that's where that look is kind of coming from. And then he was also known for that starter jacket. So a fun piece that a lot of people are liking, and it's numbered out of 750.
Yep.
So limited numbered edition of only 750, and since we've shown it, it's been popular probably halfway through already. So if you want to get in on this, definitely going to want to do it soon, and shipping in October.
Yeah, and people are commenting a lot. One of the things they're commenting on the most is the short shorts. As you can see on Larry Bird here, classic vintage 80s short shorts, what they wore back in the NBA there. Now, of course, it's completely different, but as you can see on these other Larry Birds, the short shorts were a classic thing.
It definitely had short shorts. So just showing you a couple other Larry Birds from the past. So this was Series 4 Legends that came out in 2008 from McFarlane, and you can see the short shorts. This is from that same era of Bird with a little bit longer hair and mustache and the really short shorts. And this was Series 4. Still short shorts, but a little bit longer with a little bit shorter hair. These Larry Birds are from Series 1 Legends that came out in 2005. So these are the McFarlane figures, just showing you those as well. And if you have the McFarlane figures, the bobblehead, it's a great compliment. So wanted to also show you another vintage Larry Bird piece. So this is from Sports Impressions, and this is from 1995. It's numbered out of 1,500 pieces, and it is actually signed by Larry Bird. So wanted to show you a cool retro piece. Also, if you have that by chance, a bobblehead with the championship rings is a great compliment. But this is I've been a collector of Larry Bird for a long time. This is one of my favorite pieces. And if you're unfamiliar with Sports Impressions, they did a lot of collectibles in the 90s, including plates and some framed artwork, but they did some figurines. So I want to show you the Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns around the time he won MVP, his only MVP with the Suns when they went to the finals and played Michael Jordan, lost to Michael Jordan during his first
also in Space Jam, Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley, Space Jam. So this one not signed, numbered out of 2,500 on the unsigned version. So they made a Scottie Pippen, Morning, they made probably about 8 or 10 figures, including that Larry Bird. And one thing we were talking about Larry Bird and Charles Barkley, and talking about greatest forwards of all time. Greatest small forward of all time. Charles Barkley is 6'4", but listed as 6'6", but a great rebounder.
Kind of a power forward, kind of a tweener.
One year he averaged 14 rebounds per game in his career high, I think, but over 10 for his career, as was Larry Bird. So one thing we were debating is, when you have your top 5 starters of all time, who do you put at small forward? A lot of people agree on Magic and Bird, or I'm sorry, Magic and Michael in the backcourt. Then you got Kareem and maybe Will Chamberlain or Bill Russell at center. And then power forward. Depending on if you consider Charles Barkley power forward or Karl Malone with his all-time scoring.
Tim Duncan, KG.
Tim Duncan is popular at the power, but for small forward, it's. For a long time, and for me growing up, as always, Larry Bird was going to be your starting small forward, point forward. He was a great passer, but lately
I'd have to disagree though with Travis on Larry Bird. I think LeBron James would be the best small forward of all time. They both played well. They both are great players. Obviously, you can't debate that. But look at LeBron with 27, 7, and 7 his lifetime averages. Larry Bird with 24, 10, and 6 is still great. They still played well. Both have the 3 championships. But, LeBron was MVP each time in the finals. You look at Larry Bird being MVP 2 of 3 times.
2 of 3 is actually...
Both have, other MVPs, right? Yeah.
Cedric Maxwell was the 81 finals
Cedric Maxwell.
MVP, but Bird
Bird
in 84 and 86 was the finals MVP,
Yeah.
and he was actually the season MVP from 84, 85, 86. So he was 3-time MVP, 3 consecutive years, 2 of those which they won the 84 and the 86 title. LeBron also a 3-time champion. He's a 4-time MVP winner, and his career is still going. So at one time, Bird was the consensus small forward that you plug in there. Julius Erving. Now you might talk about Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant could be eventually, if he wins a few more rings, maybe. I know people are kind of mad about that being on the Warriors and everything, but we're also curious as to who you think the favorite, the best small forward of all time would be. Is it one of those players you mentioned, or do you have someone else maybe?
Tell us in the comment section. Debate Bird versus LeBron, or if it's even a debate for any of you anymore. I might be biased. I've been
biased. Yeah.
I've been collecting Larry Bird for a long time, so that's why I wanted to show you. One of my favorite Larry Bird pieces, and now one of my favorite is the new exclusive we have is definitely going to be one of my favorites. But my collecting of Larry Bird goes back all the way to 1989.
89. Starting lineups.
in 1989. For my birthday, which is I share with Larry Bird, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. So on Larry Bird and my birthday, my mom gave me this 89 Magic Bird, 1-on-1 from starting lineup from 1989.
Wow.
And
is it first starting lineup or no? You did one before
no.
that?
So this is 89. So
89,
I started collecting in 88, and one thing on this piece, my mom doesn't know this, is that Sorry, Mom. I actually traded this away. So I had a big trade.
Wait, how do you have it now?
Well, I had to trade for it back.
Oh, God.
So my good friend David at the time, who we traded baseball cards with, almost daily I had a paper route and deliver papers to his house and carry cards in my newspaper bags, and we would trade every day, and we had a build up to a really big trade. I was trying to get from him his 1960 and 61 Topps Sandy Koufax cards, and as a card collector at the time, and your vintage cards were really tough to come by. I mean, they were really expensive, especially Sandy Koufax. Some of his cards were worth quite a bit, so we had a really big trade going. I really wanted the Sandy Koufax, and he knew how much I wanted I loved the Magic and Bird, and he just wouldn't give them up until I gave this away. So traded it, and then a couple weeks later, we talked again, and we both had trader's remorse, and we wanted to reverse the trade. So
you got the back. You got this back for that.
Yeah, as well as there was Air Jordans involved and a bike. It was a crazy trade, but I got it back. However, David had put it in his backpack, so it came with backpack creases in 2 spots, as well as the tab got ripped out. And
David, come on, man.
So always was disappointed to get it back in that condition, and that was always bothering me that I even traded it away and then it came back in worse condition. But I was able to totally redeem myself. So Mom, you don't have to worry. I do have it graded out at a 90. This one's graded almost perfect. This one was never in a backpack, and it's graded out as a 90 from AFA, Action Figure Authority. They do grading a lot of Star Wars figures, starting lineups, and McFarlane's the graded figures. So I have that graded almost perfect. But yes, it was not my first starting lineup. My collecting started in a year earlier in '88. Okay. So in 1988, starting lineup debuted with baseball first in the spring.
Okay. And
the baseball series came out, and I got the Milwaukee Brewers set, but opened those up. I put the cards in my album. And then when football season started, I got the Packers set, Randy Wright and Brent Fullwood, but I opened that up as well. And then also with football, I got an '88 Joe Montana from Shopko in Wisconsin, but I opened that up as well. But I was already hooked on collecting. But then fall came around, and I was looking for Larry Bird and Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and
top guys.
Top guys. Could not find them, but found the Milwaukee Bucks, Sidney Moncrief, Terry Cummings. But again, opened all those pieces up. And then as my mom was looking for Bird, Magic, and Jordan, she actually went to the shelf at a Prangey Way.
What's a Prangey Way?
Prangey Way. There was Prangey's department stores. There was Prangey Way discount stores. They were later just called Prangey Way. So at the Prangey Way, my mom got off the shelf while I was at school shoe shopping and found Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the shelf, but ran into a lady, a mystery woman.
Mystery woman.
An important mystery woman in the history of Clark Toys and the history of collecting. We don't know who she was, but we know she was from Appleton, and maybe she's still collecting. Maybe we'll find her through this video so we can thank her that she had from Toys R Us. She had brought a bag and had from Toys R Us in Appleton had Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan, as well as Isaiah and Patrick Ewing. But she told my mom, don't let them open them.
Don't open them.
Keep them in the package. So that's where my collecting started, but always going forward, I kept them in the package. Just unfortunately, one had to go through a backpack, but replaced that. But definitely, one day maybe we'll find her and be able to thank her for collecting history, and then it led to Clark Toys. So we appreciate you guys watching, and
let us know your favorite, your best small forward of all time. Let us know who you think that is.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys.
Have a good one.